Well, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA All-Star Game. And, of course, she set a far and away record with nearly 1.3 million votes coming in for the All-Star Game. She's a captain. Nafisa Collier's a captain. She got over 1.1 million. I mean, that was impressive. But Caitlin Clark can't do anything without the haters oozing out of the pores of the pus-ridden fandom that is the old WNBA.
Caitlin Clark was just named captain of the WNBA All-Star Game, and the internet exploded. You'd think this would be a moment to celebrate. A rising star in just her second year, dominating the headlines, voted by fans to lead the league's biggest event. But instead, social media turned into an absolute war zone. While Clark fans showed up to vote, her critics came out swinging, accusing the league of favoritism, screaming about rigged results, and crying that she didn't earn it. Let's get one thing straight. The numbers say otherwise. The fans say otherwise. And this meltdown, it's only proving just how powerful Caitlin Clark really is. If you're Team Caitlin, hit that like button and subscribe to Spotlight WNBA. Now let's get into it.
Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier were named WNBA All-Star captains for this year's WNBA All-Star Game. And if you guys remember, we talked about it in previous videos. There is a new format for this year's All-Star Game, and essentially there are two team captains that are hand-selected by fan votes, and then those two team captains get to hand-select their teams. Now, this hand selection process will be broadcast live on television. The NBA also tried this format for a few years, but I feel like the players in the NBA, their egos are a little bit too big for the captain pick style of All-Star. So Adam Silver nixed that, but the WNBA is doing it this year. I feel like it is going to get so messy, so dramatic, but I love it. I'm honestly almost more excited for the captains to pick their teams than I even am to see the game. Well, I'm excited for both, but you guys know what I mean. It's going to be juicy. It's going to.
Clark wasn't just voted in. She dominated the ballot. Over 1.3 million votes, the most in WNBA history. To put that in perspective, she received more votes than the entire 2023 All-Star roster combined. That's not hype, that's a movement. But instead of celebrating, critics rushed to their keyboards, foaming at the mouth, claiming the vote was rigged, manipulated, or undeserved. No evidence, just bitterness. It's clear that the fans have spoken, but Clark's critics keep on piling on as if they know better. Some analysts believe this kind of childish behavior will be the eventual downfall of the league. Let's be real. If anyone else pulled those numbers, the league would have thrown a parade. But because it's Clark, it's suddenly controversial.
Well, let's talk about Caitlin Clark and the WNBA All-Star voting. We now know who the 10 starters are going to be. And we also got a peel back the curtain reveal on what the other players in the league think of Caitlin Clark. This All-Star voting told us something, and it confirms exactly what we think.
And here's the hilarious part. Caitlin's biggest haters watch her more closely than her actual fans. They obsess over every pass, every foul, every turnover. They clip her plays, analyze her expressions, and live in her comment sections. That's not hate. That's an obsession. They don't realize it, but they've become her most dedicated promotion team. Every time they tweet about her, they're keeping her name in the headlines. They think they're tearing her down, but they're really just building her legend.
And what everybody is talking about are the player rankings when it comes to the All-Star ballot. They put Caitlin Clark number 9 as far as the guards go for the WNBA.
Now let's unpack their favorite talking points. She turns the ball over too much. Guess what? So does every elite point guard. You think Steph Curry or Sabrina Ionescu didn't rack up turnovers early in their careers? That comes with being the engine of the offense. Clark leads the team in usage. She creates offense. She takes the risks. And yes, sometimes that means turnovers. But her team doesn't win enough. Really, the Fever have gone from irrelevant to playoff contenders with Clark on the floor. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's Chicago Sky has fewer wins, and yet she's celebrated like she's MVP material. Make it make sense.
Now, let's look at this next subtitle right here. Players not high on Caitlin Clark. They can't help it. It's crazy. Caitlin Clark was named captain because she received the most fan votes, a record-setting 2.93 million, almost 2.3 million. But she did not have the highest weighted score among guards. That's not even the total issue here. It's how bad this gets otherwise. While she finished first in fan voting and third in media voting, she was ninth. She was ninth in player voting.
People say it's a popularity contest, like that's some kind of scandal. That's exactly what the All-Star Game is supposed to be. A celebration of the players the fans care about most. Clark fills arenas, she sells out games across the country, she spikes TV ratings every time she touches the floor. She's not just popular, she's the reason the league is finally on the national radar. That's not a flaw, that's the point.
All-Star voting. Caitlin Clark received 1.3 million All-Star votes this year. The top 30 vote getters in 2023 combined for 1.17 million. By the way, Fee Collier had more than 1.17 million as well. She had more than 1.17 million votes. So
let's talk about Paige Bueckers. Great player, no doubt, but the argument that she would be All-Star captain over Clark is pure fantasy. Clark averages more points, more assists, more rebounds, and leads a better team. She's handling more responsibility, facing tougher defenses, and still putting up better numbers. And yet the same people screaming, "Stats don't lie," suddenly forget the stats when it comes to Clark. Why? Because they don't want her to succeed. That's not analysis. That's personal bias.
So a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork like complete idiots. Possible mental health instability, I would say. And, of course, they're trying to hate on this. Calling the voting rigged. I mean, okay. I mean, you'd have to be a moron not to realize Caitlin Clark is far and away the most popular athlete in women's sports.
And if you want proof of just how deep the jealousy runs, look no further than the player vote, where Caitlin Clark, the league's top draw and leading vote getter among fans, was ranked 9th by her fellow players. 9th. Behind veterans having mediocre seasons, behind rookies with half her impact. This wasn't about basketball, it was a message, a petty, insecure attempt to downplay her influence, but all it really did was expose the envy boiling beneath the surface. These players see the crowds, the cameras, the headlines, and instead of being inspired, they're resentful. It's not just disrespectful, it's self-sabotage. Clark is carrying the league into the mainstream, and they're too bitter to even acknowledge it. Here's the twist that nobody expected, though. The hate, it's helping Clark. Every tweet, every rant, every TikTok screaming about how overrated she is, just more attention, more clicks, more fans tuning in to see what the drama's about. She is the storyline, the hero to some, the villain to others, but no matter what side you're on, she's driving the conversation. That's power, and that's exactly why she's captain.
Hello? Hey, Kathy, good. How are you?
Caitlin, I just want to personally congratulate you on being named captain for the 20. All the best to the whole team tomorrow in the Tuesday in the Commissioner Cup final.
Yeah, we better get that.
And now Clark gets to pick her squad. That's right, she's not just playing in the All-Star Game. She's building her team. Will she draft Bueckers and show there's no beef? Will she pick Aaliyah Boston first out of loyalty? Will she skip certain players just to make a statement? Every pick is going to be dissected, debated, and replayed. The All-Star Draft is now a must-watch event, and it's all because Captain Clark is at the center.
The other players in the league can't stand Caitlin Clark. I mean, it's baffling. I've seen some people trying to claim she shouldn't be in the game. She's tied for the league lead in assists, for crying out loud. She's averaging 18 points a game. I mean, she's in a 3-game shooting downturn. All right? A 3-game shooting slump. And other than that, in the injuries, it's been business as usual for most games. And she had a triple-double this year.
But let's address the part nobody wants to say out loud. Some WNBA players are so blinded by jealousy, they're sabotaging the league's future. Caitlin Clark is pulling historic viewership, packing arenas, and turning casual fans into diehards. This should be a rising tide moment for everyone. Instead, she's getting elbows to the ribs, side-eyed interviews, and cold stares after games. The message is clear. Clark's success makes them uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Her spotlight could have been their spotlight too. And yet no one's calling it out. Not Kathy Engelbert, not the media, not the so-called legends on ESPN. The silence is cowardly, and it's hurting the game. Clark is the most talked about basketball player on the planet right now, and instead of backing her, the league is letting her be bullied by her own peers. Brittany Griner was caught on camera calling Clark a trash effing white girl, and the league said nothing. Here's a reality check. If this keeps up, Clark doesn't need the WNBA. She has enough star power and financial backing to start her own league, and fans would follow. That's how serious this is, and some people just have to learn the hard way. This isn't about identity, it's about common sense. When one player brings more attention, more revenue, and more opportunity for everyone, you don't try to tear her down. You ride the wave. You grow with her. But some of these players would rather set the house on fire than share the spotlight. And that might be the dumbest move in professional sports history.
There's going to come a time when the CBA negotiations are going on. The owners are sitting across from the Players Association. The negotiators are in the room. They're trying to iron out things. And the owners all come together and they ask a question. They pose a question to the players. And the question's simple. Where's Caitlin Clark? Why isn't she here? And why isn't she sticking up for you ladies and advocating on your behalf?
Clark's captaincy is more than a vote tally. It's a message. The WNBA is finally choosing stars, choosing growth, choosing fans, and Caitlin Clark is the centerpiece of that strategy. She's not just elevating herself, she's elevating the entire league. Whether the veterans like it or not, the train is moving forward. They can hop on or get left behind.
So lads, Caitlin Clark led the WNBA in All-Star voting. Obviously led the WNBA in All-Star voting. Like, I don't think anyone is shocked by that.
So here we are. The fans voted, the league listened, and now Caitlin Clark is your 2025 WNBA All-Star captain. No scandal, no conspiracy, just millions of fans showing up for the player who's making women's basketball impossible to ignore. And the haters, all they've done is prove her value. Every complaint, every viral tweet, every meltdown is just another reason why Clark matters. So if you're Team Caitlin, smash that like button and subscribe to Spotlight WNBA. Drop a comment below. Who do you think she should draft first? Boston, Bueckers, Aces drama incoming? Let us know. And remember, Captain Clark isn't just a title, it's a turning point.